This meeting to order for the corporation of the township of Brunel and Docking. Raglan, this 8th day of January 2025 at 7:01 p.m. As we gather this evening, I would like to acknowledge on behalf of this council and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We would like to thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history. We are extremely grateful for the many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. So roll call, Councillor Banks.
Yes.
Councillor Coffell. Here. Councillor Keller.
Here.
Councillor Quad.
Present.
So we have a resolution to adopt our agenda that reads that we, the council of the corporation of the township of Brunel and Docking Raglan, adopt the agenda as amended to include items 9.5 and 9.6 in staff reports. Can I get a mover for that, please? I can move. Councillor Coffell, seconded by Councillor Banks. Any comments, questions?
No.
No, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? None. The motion is carried. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest with anything that's on the agenda tonight?
No, not by me.
Seeing none. Mayor's address. I'd like to wish everybody a happy new year. We're beginning a new year. We've got a challenging year ahead of us. We've got new things to deal with that will be on our agenda tonight. And as always, our budget is going to be a big challenge this year. We've had many increases that involves offering our services, fuel, heating, insurance, policing. So we'll have to put some work into to be able to keep our tax rate that's reasonable for our ratepayers, as we all know that incomes aren't going up at the rate that expenses are. So it's been quiet. It's been the Christmas break. We're back to work. Attended no meetings. So we start now in the new year. I'd like to welcome everybody that's here tonight. It's nice to see people here that's concerned about what's happening in our municipality. So clerk's report. She's got nothing to report. Delegations and our presentations. We have Nirvana Fernandez, DNR Productions Events, Inc. regarding, is it Nowhere Festival?
Yes, nowhere.
I think that's a really neat. Would you like to come to the table, please?
Yes. You just show up here. I'm sorry. Yep. Volunteer.
Hopefully you can use it over. Oh, you're not.
Pull around, maybe to the
Pull around the
side.
side.
Yeah, so we're doing Nowhere Festival, hopefully, on the dates that we have worked out with Hamilton is from September 11th to September 15th, is when the grounds are gonna be operational. It is a music festival that has a really strong focus on art and wellness as well, so there'll be a lot of programming based. While the primary attraction is music, there's going to be a lot of art installations, a lot of wellness speakers, as well as, yoga classes and everything involved. It's a full-scale production. Our expected attendance is about 5,000 people at sellout. And the goal is to have 3 stages running. We worked it out with Camp Wallen that there is the ability to accommodate everything. We worked out a lot of the logistics as you've seen in the plan. We also, what you don't have just as yet is the camping ops. Thing that we just received when we did the site visit with Amanda. So I can forward that to you as well as show it to you. So we got the fire lanes and everything drawn out as well. And yeah, the main thing is that we want to be able to work with the township and collaborate on this project, because. In order for it to be successful, like, we're gonna need your help,
Yeah, good partnerships.
a great partnership with what it's done. If you guys, I would love to go through the application with you, if you have any questions or concerns. Love to talk about it.
Everybody's had a chance to review the application, so did anybody have any questions about it or any concerns?
Everything was pretty well documented.
Yeah, it's nicely put together.
Yeah, I thought it was anyway.
Yeah, well, there's lots of good information there for council.
Yeah.
Well, the production is a pretty large scale operation that we have going on. All the partners involved have also been doing this for over 10 years. Some of our partners own their own music festivals down in North America that do about 25,000 people across 4 days, which is a way larger scale. And the goal is to eventually kind of get the festival to that size. And the idea is having a long-term relationship. It's not just a one-off. So we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can for the community and work together so that this is something that happens every year and becomes a stable attraction to the area as well.
I know when we initially spoke, I believe it was in December, maybe?
For our first original conversation was somewhere around like November, I think.
Okay, the end of November.
Yeah.
And I told you about our concern for waste because our waste sites have
We both, yes,
capacity, and it's really nice to see that none of the waste will stay here. It's
none of
all
the sanitation waste, none of the garbage, everything is being scheduled to be removed from the town itself.
Yeah.
So, for example, the sanitation waste will be going through all the way to Kingston to be disposed of, or to Ottawa.
Yeah,
The actual waste with recycling, garbage, so we're gonna not just have one container, we're gonna be doing the separation between recycling and garbage as well. And that's gonna be, we're talking to Dumpies, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the
Yeah.
company, but they're gonna be removing the waste out of the township as well and disposing it in areas that have more capacity to deal with that kind of waste.
Yes. That's good.
And the application, the planning is really good. It's easy to see, it's not the first time you guys have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but
yeah, we've been doing it.
it's good, cause I mean, for safety and well-being and for fire and for
Yeah.
everything, like it's all. Did you have any concerns when you looked at it, Jordan?
No, we don't, man, right off. Maybe a little bit of concern with people crossing the road, and we are planning on reducing the speed limits.
Yeah, not only reducing speed limits, we do have a crossing plan as well, it's there in the thing. So we will have, there's the entryway, once ingress is complete, which is scheduled to be done on Friday, minus like few people who show up on a Saturday and they get ingressed in, but since we're opening doors for ingress on Thursday, early morning,
Yeah,
is when ingress starts. So by Friday, we should have most of everyone in. Once they're in, you can't leave. But that's how camping youth festivals work. Once you're in, you can't leave, you can't move your car. Unless it's like an emergency, someone's ill, needs to go home, someone's power pass, but that's a case by case basis.
Yeah.
Our team will go escort the car out.
Yeah.
And let it go. Because there's not gonna be any movement of cars going in and out. Those entranceways now become our crossing areas to cross over into the festival. There's 3 points of entry. Each crossing area will have close to 6 to 7 guards each of people like stopping people from crossing to let traffic pass for the next amount, for 5 minutes, let them pass, or 10 minutes, which we will actually work out with what you're comfortable with. And then it'll like allow people to cross over onto the other side, at which point there's another ingress point where we have our metal detectors and scanning endpoints and everything like that. So a certain size of crowd will be allowed to pass through, and then it'll be stopped. We'll let traffic flow through if there's any traffic at that time, which tends to be slow from what we've seen as we've been up here
Yeah.
on that road, so we don't anticipate too many problems, plus putting road signage at least 5 to 10 kilometers out, letting people know that there's a special event and
yeah.
et cetera, et cetera. And then, I believe the main things which we need to work out with you is if I could approve our fire lanes, right now we have them. Scheduled to be built 10 feet wide, so that's it's big enough to let a fire and pass through on the campgrounds as well as the.
Yeah, if you have a drawing for us, I'll look at it and see, but.
Yeah, we can actually show that to you, I can send that on to you.
Yeah.
So have the local residences been notified yet that one's here?
I just live in, 500 yards from the camp.
Yeah, so we haven't yet reached out to the local residences because prior to doing that, I would love their permission.
Yeah.
Let this happen in the first place. The next step is to actually right after this, once we get the permission, is to speak to all the local neighbors. We do have we understand it's going to cause a slight inconvenience with the duration of the event and the amount of noise that is going to come from the event, which we are taking a lot of methods, employing a lot of methods to reduce that as much as possible, but it's going to be loud. We're going to do with all the equipment that is now available, it's not going to be something that's like insanely loud where you can hear it from like 3 miles away. We now have new technology that allows you to vector sound and other scientific means of like reducing the impact of the noise.
Then directing it, yeah.
And directing it. And then also what we've said that we're going to be doing is provide all the neighbors the opportunity to attend the festival for free. Also provide the neighbors with the option for compensation for the noise. As well as the option to go out on vacation for the duration of the event on us. So we will pay for that to happen and send you, we're looking at our options right now. It's looking like either Florida, Banff or PEI.
Oh.
Go.
Where are we at, Ron?
It's a great boat season then, so.
So saying that, what do you anticipate that distance from the festival to be considered a neighbor? Cause yeah, I was reading it like nearby residents will be notified and provided with relocation for the weekend if you want it or otherwise. So what distance are you talking from the
So
festival?
we've identified 25 neighbors that would be 25 neighbors. I believe we sent the list over with their addresses.
Yes.
Okay,
That would come within where it would be of an inconvenience.
okay, so
So-
you already have those names.
Yes, we have all those names. We've got the size of the families. We've
Okay.
got, so we've already started preparing, talking to our travel agents to. That's how I know the options for them,
Okay,
Florida and PEI.
okay.
So we're trying to figure out what's economically reasonable for us as well.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, but the duration of the trip will be from Thursday, but we'll have a coach bus. Come meet at the center point, everyone loads onto the bus. We take you, we'll be covering airfare and your accommodations. And the bus will take you to Toronto, or Ottawa, whichever one we figure out is the most feasible. And then you will return on the Monday.
Okay.
And that list of names was provided with the application, but I did not include it in.
No, no, exactly.
Yeah.
We'll go all night long, no, the morning.
Given the kind of how music festivals and we're competing with not just. Given the scale of our event, we're not competing just locally and it's something that the Eastern Seaboard of Canada has not. Had the chance to do on this scale yet. It's how most festivals are run during in all of North America. They go later because it's actually more dangerous to, dance and do what you do at a music festival in the heat, the sunlight. So that's why a lot of the music programming is geared to go pretty late in that, yes.
But the main stage, you said.
Yes, the
cuts
loudest.
off at- The loudest one cuts off at 11.
Yes, so we're actually hoping, we were doing the run of show right now, we were hoping to cut off the main stage sound by 12 latest, because there will be. Controlling artists and yeah, you have to get off stage at this time, they tend to
Yeah.
the crowd wants 15 minutes more, we have to factor in for those.
So that's
things.
the plus and minus.
Yeah, there has to be a plus and minus on this thing, so but we have hard cuts. At 12 o'clock on the main stage, which is going to be the biggest, loudest stage.
Yeah.
And then we have two side smaller stages that will be open, that will be a lot less noise impact. It will still be loud though, like, that's why we are,
There was a few in the summer, it went to 3 in the morning.
pardon?
A few of them went in the summer to 3 in the morning. They're shaken out.
Yes.
You're not wrong.
We're just across the.
Yeah.
Our goal is to stop,
Yeah.
our goal is to stop all the sound. To cut it off by 4 AM latest, because then the sun starts to rise at 5 and nobody likes being awake on this, that. Feeling you get when the birds start chirping, it's like, yeah, I've been up too long, kind of feeling. So, but yeah, and then the programming, and then it cuts, like it's, everyone goes back to campground and then the festival grounds officially open back up again at 10:30, 11 for the wellness programming, and then music programming doesn't start until 2 PM. And that again is the smaller stages first, the big stage opens up at, I believe, 4 or 5, yeah. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so it says easy, you say about fencing and stuff for the event. So you
Yes.
plan on like fencing the whole campgrounds, parking area?
We've got 5 kilometers of fencing.
Really?
Yeah. So we got 5 kilometers of fencing. This is aid to a lot of the neighbors that are within the vicinity of walking distances. We like to protect their homes, so we fence off their homes. We have to, the camping grounds, as you've seen in the drawings, there's a lot of homes right beyond the
Yeah,
thing, so that's gonna get fenced. The entire perimeter of the road is gonna get fenced to prevent people from like trying to take a stroll across the
Sure.
road on their own.
yeah,
So we're fencing all the way down to, I believe, the home, like just the end of the rock pit.
Yeah.
Not the rock pit, what we label the rock pit or the,
stone fencing.
it is stone fencing, yeah. So we're fencing off the entire thing.
Okay.
As well as fencing off we're fencing off the entire water line too, so no one has access to the water.
I see.
Yeah, we're not prepared to deal with people,
Yeah.
not for the first year.
Yeah.
We'd like to,
Yeah.
no, and then tackle that maybe some other
Oh,
time.
yeah, okay.
But yeah.
Yeah.
And then I believe we're talking
Yeah.
to Kevin about the medical situation and stuff like that, while we have our nurses that are gonna be coming in. We have a conversation to be scheduled with the hospital nearby to figure out evac plans and.
Yeah.
and-
Early stages, no concerns whatsoever.
Yeah,
They looked at the planning and stuff already and
Yeah.
they don't really have any concerns. They're just more interested down the road, you know, with your preparation for your tents and everything, but there's
Yeah,
no concerns there, though.
Right now, we have a 30 by 30 foot med tent that is going to be built with. Have its own power generator to take care of some of the equipment that's
Mhm.
required to. IV drips and
mhm,
all that other good stuff,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Well, it's a well put together application and it's like,
Then planning, yeah.
yeah.
I do have a request that I've been told to ask you by the contractor. We do need to. Increase the entrance lines along that fence on the camping side.
Yeah.
So the entranceway right now is only good enough for 1 car to enter, so in order to prevent a major backup on the highway.
Yeah.
We need 2 entrances, one over there by the cow.
That's right.
Yeah, so we need to increase that 1 lane,
That's county.
we need to increase that 1 lane entry to allow fewer cars to enter, and then another one slightly down the road towards the left, the rightmost thing, another 4 lanes. That gives us 8 lanes of moving people in.
That would
That's
be.
county, right?
No, empty.
No, I mean.
MTO.
Yeah,
County?
No, no, no.
MTO, that's what I thought.
yeah.
So you'd have to deal with MTO for that for
For
entry.
those entrances, yeah.
Yeah.
MTO.
Yeah.
Ministry of Transportation.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'd be the same one.
So-
Contact to the speed reduction.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'd be the one, same one county said that you dealt with for speed reductions.
Oh, yes, okay. Okay, great.
Have you got approval from them for the speed reductions already?
No, we still need your permission
Yeah.
first to go ahead
Yeah.
with this,
You
then
look at the permit.
once you guys give us the okay and the letter of support,
Yeah.
then we go to everyone and be like, okay, now we're ready, like.
Yeah.
We've had our preliminary conversations with everyone, they okayed the plan before we even sent you the plan.
Yeah,
So given that, if we get the letter of approval and the letter of support, then we will then go to MTO and be like, okay, we need to do this, and it's a temporary solution, we're not gonna increase the actual week.
Would you be willing to contact those 25 residences before, as part of the approval process and bring that back to council?
Absolutely, yeah.
Whatever needs to happen
And
in the community.
if everyone's here
Okay.
this, like, I can do it as soon as tomorrow.
Yeah, because it would be nice to hear from them.
Well, we're the ones that ultimately answer
Yeah.
to the residents and I
and I
get,
think it's better
I
for
think
them
it's-
to know before it's approved, because then it's almost like, instead of looking to them for their
yeah,
comment, you're looking to them for your approval for what you've done. And I think that makes a big difference in how they react to
Yeah.
it.
So how would we gauge if we end up with someone who is just completely against the idea, then is the whole plan scrapped?
I think it's
If
kind
there's
of
like
a
a majority?
majority.
I
residents,
think
right?
it probably would be the
Yeah.
majority. I mean, you're always gonna have someone that's gonna strongly object to everything. Whether they have a reason or they don't. I think it's up to council to look at what the majority of people have to say. And then make our decision based on what's best for the majority of the people.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
That's what we're elected for.
Okay, yeah, no, absolutely.
If we didn't approve something because one person objected to something, we would have not voted. Because you're always gonna have objection.
If you, at least if you have a general consensus.
Yeah, no, absolutely, I'm more than happy to speak to all
Because I
the
think it's
requires
better.
the approval.
I think it's better
Would
that
you-
they're
are you
involved
requiring-
in the get-go.
Yeah, no, absolutely, 100%.
Just tell them you're gonna send the BAM for Florida.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can rent something.
That's what I was saying. Move the farm over a little bit.
Yeah, like going to PEI.
Yeah, no, you can, we'll definitely, do you require signed forms, or do you just want us to let you know that they're signed?
Would you even after the fact have them sign a form?
Yeah, when they decide which option.
Compensation.
Yeah, which compensation.
It may be as simple as the person's name saying, I agree with the music festival. from-"
I don't have,
I don't have it.
I
I
don't
don't have a
know.
problem or something
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, that's fairly simple as. It's better than angry than trying to. Since everyone's home, we're going to. Longer.
Sure, we can talk more after.
Okay, yeah, sure.
The chair would be part of that conversation, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, hello, everyone. I'm Amanda from Camp Baldwin representing Saul. Apologizes that he's not here. He's abroad right now. Lindsay's here with me as well from camp. This is definitely not something that we've ever done before, we've ever hosted on our property. And when Nirvana and his team came to us last May, we started our conversations and we pushed them away very many times, as Saul told you on.
Yes.
But for some reason, they just kept coming back. We put them in touch with several different camps to see if maybe they were interested in hosting this event. We just never were able to visualize this type of a capacity and number one, the most paramount reason is the way it could potentially impact the community in a negative way.
Yeah.
From a noise perspective, from an ingress and egress perspective, we couldn't visualize it. Luckily, these gentlemen who are very, very well versed in large scale productions came to us finally with a very, very detailed plan, and Saul, myself, and everybody else involved just said, we're happy to provide the property with a lot of different site visits that happened, and they're hosting the event, they're the organizers, and we are obviously here with the relationships that we've built with the community, and we don't want to jeopardize that. That's the number one most important thing. So these conversations with the neighbors, I feel like are one of the most important things that need to be tackled, and Nirvana and his team are taking that very seriously. So whatever needs to happen, we're here to support, and we're just grateful for the relationships we have with everybody. Jordan specifically and his team to make sure everything is, all good for us. Apologize for the 3 AM noise throughout the summer. We can't send it to PEI, but we can certainly continue to put letters in your mailboxes every June, letting you know there could be some noise. But yeah, Lindsay and I made the trek in because it's important for you guys to know that we're grateful to be a part of this township and this community. Whatever needs to happen, we stand behind what the township needs.
I understand how your feeling was, because I know the first meeting I had with Nirvana and I believe it was you. And I was like, this is ridiculous, it's never gonna happen. But then as we talked and I mean, they come, like you came with your plans, like in your application for everything, there's nothing that you missed on how to bring it forward. So, yeah, it is really off the wall at the start though.
And I know one of Nirvana's big goals and his team is for this to be fruitful for the community and
Yes.
fruitful for the township. And we met with Kevin in December and we talked at length about that and how important that is.
Yeah.
And what that looks like.
Yeah,
So,
we're even making, I didn't mention this earlier, but we're even, we're gonna have a vendor, access thing, as I said.
Yes.
For local businesses within the area.
Yes,
They can access and vend at the festival for free, so if you've got a crafts business, you've got some art you'd like to display. We're also gonna open it up to, in a volunteer perspective, like if someone wants to come do an art installation or something like that, you're more than welcome to display your art at the festival. And we are going to be, if there's an opportunity to hire locally, we're gonna prefer to bring local people on board if they want to, do some of like the
Yeah.
work and stuff like that. We're also focusing on more local businesses and stuff like that, for
Yeah.
contracting and where in which we can, where it needs to go outside the city, obviously it's gonna go outside.
yeah, I mean, for waste and for all of that.
Fencing and all the production.
Anything locally that would be able to provide that volume.
We found a contractor, Sean McCarthy, does a lot of work in the area.
Okay,
So he's going to be helping out with all of our, paving of roads and clearing of trees and clearing out the brush on the ground and stuff like that, as well as all contracting is pretty much goes.
I'm sure if this all comes to fruition, we'll have to do a visit.
You guys, obviously, you guys love full pass and access to the festival at all time.
What I don't wanna do, and I'm sure no one wants to do that here, is the delay of the approval of the application. Does that impact you?
A little bit,
Yeah.
so we are kind of behind the ball right now, not from a planning perspective, we have all of our ducks in a row over there. We are a little bit behind the ball on marketing, and we are behind the ball on sending out, we've had our preliminary conversations. With the artists, everyone's waiting for official offers, but we're not gonna send out an official offer until the town is like,
So you got the green light?
until we get the green light, because like, it's.
Yeah.
The artists that we're going after and talent wise, they're world renowned artists, so
Yeah.
like, you can't come in like. 1 foot in.
Yeah, you gotta be all.
Yeah.
You gotta be all.
Yeah.
The way I have the resolution worded is that we would give tentative approval, conditional on approvals from OPP, medical, MTO, et cetera.
Yeah.
OPP gave us the green light,
Yeah.
medical's giving us the green light, we just need to work with,
Yeah.
to okay our camping ops plans and any other safety things that he would like to action out. We've got a shooter, it's not gonna happen, but we've got a whole list of plans in place for all the things that could possibly go in. And we also, another question that I have to ask is like, would you like us to list the township on our insurance.
Yes, please.
Okay, so, yeah, we have a pretty extensive insurance plan,
Yes.
we're like at $180,000.
Yeah, because you don't know, like, the liabilities, because we would approve the license and through it, maybe something happens and they feel that the township didn't protect the attendees and they may.
So that's with all festivals and we're named on all the insurance for
We're
all the
not,
festivals?
but I think it would be a good idea when we approve the license.
Okay, so
We
that's
are,
something.
your name is additionally
Is
insured,
it?
Yeah,
yes.
So for any event that goes on, it is on there, okay.
Yeah, it's not, we currently have, I believe it's a $20 million liability coverage. That's just for general liability, then we've got weather insurance, we've got ticket refund insurance, we've got all of the things that could go along insurance, so.
So in your application, I see where you have a letter to the OPP and that it discussed that you've met with them, but I will need a letter from them saying we approve this. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, I'll follow up with the OPP and stuff like that.
okay, so then if you could meet with, so the resolution is we tentatively approve.
And we can do a friendly amendment when we get there.
Yeah, I have pending receipt of compliance approvals from OPP, Renfrew County District Health Unit, which you probably wouldn't get until very shortly before the event starts, because they would do an inspection right before.
Yeah.
DLR fire official, DLR chief building official, notification and comment from affected residents, approval from MTO and certified copy of comprehensive general liability insurance, and the license fee to be paid to the township.
Yeah, so we do it tentatively and then, yeah,
That's all those requirements.
Once those are all met, then
you can pull that resolution up and reach out.
So would we get that in like shortly after today's meeting, the tentatively approval?
Yeah, it would be,
It won't be tonight, we have the resolution.
it's basically saying that we're approving it, and now it's on you to provide all that stuff, and if you don't, then we can go,
Yeah,
So as long as you're,
yeah,
you have the green light, but you make sure you get that stuff to us.
okay.
yeah, you have to meet all of those conditions.
Could we change the date to September 11th to September 15th?
Yeah.
When we get to that point, in the meeting, it'll reflect it, I think.
Was there anything when you were at the meeting, Kevin, that stood out to you or?
No, everything is well planned. The gentleman that came up from the US for the camping piece, he's really organized as well.
Yeah.
There's a gentleman come in from the US, just talking about the camping. That's where his specialty is.
Yeah,
I mean, it's well organized.
yeah, and I,
mean,
you know,
guys have done a
there's,
good job. I did some sweeping around after we spoke.
Yeah.
With you guys have your stuff together. You know, it's nice to see.
yeah, and I'm glad there's not gonna be any campfires or open flame or anything, because, you know, that just leads to
It's
more
just
liability.
camp,
More,
those propane camping stoves.
yes,
And we're also gonna try and mitigate that. We're currently in the process of trying to figure out a meal plan type deal where, I don't know if you're familiar with like Factor or Halal meals. It's very popular in Toronto. You get these pre-made meals that come in containers. You just have to slip it in the microwave for like 3 minutes and you have a meal. So we're looking into that right now. We just had an initial meeting. And if we're able to do that, we'll mitigate a lot of any, like even the smallest of open flames will be restricted.
And is there alcohol in them?
So the sale of whether we do alcohol or not is entirely dependent on the dollar amount of sponsorship we raise. I'm the advocate of not doing booze, but I can't say no to the booze unless we raise $500,000 in sponsorship. Because the festival is costing us $3.2 million to produce. We're already projecting that since it's a first year festival, we're probably gonna lose somewhere around $500,000 because that's generally how it goes and it takes about 3 years to break even. So losing alcohol sales and not making up for it on a sponsorship side would be. We wouldn't be able to come up with this year. So the margin on tickets are about 17% and then where we most festivals do make their money is from the sale of alcohol, unless they can have a sponsor step in where they're like, okay, we don't do alcohol.
Is Americans normally that low?
On ticket sales? Yeah, so it's anywhere, so I'm saying 17%, but like. You can get to 30% if you sell out, but never in the first year, it's just not possible, because we're just, no one knows we exist. Right, no one knows, we haven't proven the concept, we haven't done a show, we have no content, we have no media showcasing what. Our festival and what the vibe is, plus how music festivals generally work, they go on sale. Like right now,
Yeah.
and everyone already knows what music festival they want, they don't know they want to go to a music festival just as yet, but we're doing the best we can, we had a huge reception. To it when we kind of did like a soft launch, be like, okay. This might be happening on this date, and we didn't even announce the venue or anything, we just said BLR Ontario. We had like 8,000 signups for information into our subscriber list, and out of that, probably, let's say, conversion rate is probably in around 20 to 30%. So,
It's pretty good, conversion rates around 20%, that's pretty standard, right?
and if we do have alcohol, just because if we do the alcohol thing, our security guards, will go up. Like we'll be having the plan right now, security guards are scheduled to be there in accordance to alcohol. If there's no alcohol, we've got the security thing by 50% because we don't really
Need the presence.
Yeah, you don't need the presence.
And what about cannabis?
Pardon?
What about cannabis? Is there any sales?
This, well, like, it's actually illegal for us to be like, you cannot smoke,
Okay,
so, we can't.
because I know the shops are all over, so just have to ask that question.
Yeah, oh, having cannabis,
there won't be this.
it's not legal to sell cannabis if you're selling alcohol. That's right.
Okay,
Right, if we're selling alcohol, then you can average, people are allowed to smoke at their own free will, but you cannot actually. Exchange money for cannabis if there's alcohol.
They can't distribute.
No, you can't.
is that a good question?
So are you planning on having this every year then?
That is the goal. The goal is to have this
It's a
once,
business, right?
yeah, the goal is to have this once a year and obviously not move the dates around.
Yeah.
Not move the venue around. The goal is to have it here, because once you build it in a spot,
Yeah, once you're slotted in.
the idea is to make it like a home for like a destination for.
Padlock, you
For-
can have padlock if you're not saying it has.
Yeah.
Like it's,
Come around.
Yeah.
Festival.
Yeah.
So the goal is to have this every year, like our goal is to be like a staple festival. Some of the festivals that we attend have been around for 25 years and have grown, they started at like. 5,000 people in their first year and now touching 60,000 people. On a year over basis to 60,000 people attending, it becomes a huge thing. I don't know if you've heard of EDC Las Vegas, it's the biggest production in the entire world. In one weekend, it generates $2.2 billion for the economy and they have 450,000 people attending. So.
so I know it might be hard to answer not knowing what your numbers are going to be, but what would you expect the growth ratio per year? And at what time does
So-
Walden not be big enough for you?
So Walden is big enough to do 40,000 people according to math. The question that comes into consideration with Walden is like, are we going to be allowed to clear the amount of acreage and trees to create the fields
It's
to?
camping, right?
Because it's this,
Yeah, not to jump in, it's a very valid question, and it's a very important question, and it's a question that we've discussed. To echo Penny, we are not in the business and we're not excited about any tree clearage on the property and but to Nirvana's point about his math, it's like a standing room equation that they've come up with as far as square footage required for tenting, square footage required for standing room. So I think we're let's see how this year goes, and then we
Yeah.
project,
Yeah.
well, sorry, not we, they project year after year, and we say it can work or it can't work. There's a lot of factors that go into that, which Nirvana knows,
Yeah.
but it's a very valid question for projecting.
In business, it has to be viable, right, for,
Yeah.
it has to be viable for the production company, viable for the
Yeah.
owner of the property, so, yeah, there's.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't do anything about it.
Yeah. And Nirvana knows we are in the camping world.
Yeah.
Our bread and butter is we're a traditional overnight summer camp. The minute that any of that gets penetrated is something that we have to discuss, which we know and they know, and we have respectful plans around that, so.
Absolutely.
Again, that's your partnership.
Exactly,
That would be
yeah,
the best way, yeah.
totally,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty exciting.
very.
Okay, is there any other questions from the council?
No. Sounds good.
All looks good.
So we have a resolution that reads that council for the corporation, the township of Brunel and Dock and Raglan hereby give tentative approval to Nowhere Festival DNR Production Events Inc. for music festival on September the 11th to the 15th.
Mhm.
2025 at 38,483 Highway 28, pending receipt of compliance approvals from Ontario Provincial Police, Renfrew County District Health Unit, BLR Fire Official, BLR Chief Building Official, notification and comment from affected residents, approvals from FTO, and certified copy of comprehensive general liability insurance and license fee to be paid to the township of BLR. Can I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Quad, seconded by Councillor Banks. Any comments, questions, suggestions?
We'd ask that question.
I will call for the vote then. All those in favor? Against? None. The motion is carried.
Thank you.
So if you could do the survey of those people and get that to us ASAP.
Yeah.
That would be great, because that way then, we know where they're coming from.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We'll get on that right away.
I'll provide you a letter with a copy of the resolution as well. Tomorrow.
Well, wishing you all the best.
Yeah.
It sounds exciting. I hope everything works out really well.
Yeah.
Thank you all for what you do, I appreciate you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's not gonna be water weekend, is it?
Yeah.
Take care.
Good night.
Yes, you can. You want the rest of your meeting?
I'm not saying. You'll be soon, okay?
Sorry.
See you. Have a good day, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Thank you. Okay, so we have adoption of the minutes. A resolution. That we, the council of the corporation, the township of Brunel and Dock and Raglan hereby adopt the minutes of the regular council meeting of December 4th, 2024 as presented. Can I get a mover for that, please?
I can move.
Moved by Councillor Keller, seconded by Councillor Quad. Any comments, questions?
Yeah. Good.
Okay, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yeah.
Opposed, none, the motion is carried. Committee and staff reports. The BLR Recreation Committee minutes, we have a resolution that council for the corporation, the township of Brunel and Dock and Raglan accept the October 8th, 2024 recreation minutes as information. Can I get a mover for that, please? Marky moved by Councillor Campbell, seconded by Councillor Banks. Any comments, questions? We'll call for the vote. Wayne,
Pardon
are you in favor?
Yeah.
Okay. Opposed, that the motion is carried. Public Works, we have a resolution. That council for the corporation of the township of Brunel, Dock and Raglan accept the Public Works staff report regarding surplus equipment from the county as information only. Moved by Councillor Keller, seconded by Councillor Claude. And we have the report.
There's a staff report attached, I'm not gonna bother opening it, basically the opportunity to purchase two pieces of equipment from the county. One was a water tank that we've been using for the last number of years. We're just borrowing it from them, it was up for tender at $500, we offered $550, we approved. The second was the float trailer that they were.
Seems awfully reasonable.
Yeah, I know.
I looked at the prices going,
Yeah.
wow.
It's a $10,000 trailer, they offered it $1,000 to the municipalities and we were the only ones to bid on it, so. We were successful with that as well, so.
Yeah.
Both pieces are here.
Good.
That's good.
Any other comments or questions from council? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? None. The motion is carried. Fire chief report, we have a resolution that council for the township of Newfoundland and Raglan accepts the fire chief's report regarding the fire protection grant as presented for information purposes. Can we get a mover for that, please?
Okay.
Moved by Councillor Banks, seconded by Councillor Otto. And
House around there. So, in conjunction with the Ontario government, the fire marshal has, put together a grant program for fire departments across Ontario. In respect to preventing firefighter cancer. So with that, we were able to apply based on a number of stations that we currently have. And we gave them a list of things that we would like to see. We were limited to what we could get, but obviously mostly PPE, and the other protection devices that we can put in place. We ended up aiming higher on the scale for more bunker gear. So we're gonna replace a bunch of our bunker gear and some decontamination units to be used at fire scenes. So we're able to receive just over almost $33,000.
When would they let you know about that?
We already know.
Oh, you already
Okay, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
yeah, that's good.
Good news.
If it's available, go for it. Yeah.
No, that's
You're
great.
one of three.
This is year 1 of 3, yeah. So we have the opportunity to apply to 1 of 3.
It's nice to see the province recognized.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Finally.
well, yeah, there's lots of, especially PPE stuff that you guys require, because it is dangerous and
Yeah.
it is common to hear with firefighters.
Well, and more so with today's construction, the materials being used, it's a lot more hazardous for us, like.
Oh, there's lots of things, it's that plus electric cars, plus that, plus.
Yeah, plus,
Yeah.
it's not going to end, so.
It's nice to stay in front of it, that way it keeps keep everyone as safe as possible, the volunteers.
Yeah.
Everyone,
So,
good news.
yeah.
Okay, so anything else? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? None. The motion is carried. Okay. The next one. I would like to see this deferred till close meeting. We're talking about identifiable individuals. And that in this, and I don't think I would like to see this discussed in the meeting. Does council have a problem with that?
No.
Can we do that? Okay, so we will defer. 9-4 to close. And we'll move on to 9-5 BLR Community Center rental rates. We've got a resolution that we, the council of the corporation of the township of Brunel and Dock and Raglan, hereby agree to implementing the upgraded rental rates for the BLR Community Center. Can I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Banks, seconded by Councillor Claude. And we have a staff report.
Yes, can prepare the staff report, but I can speak to it. So we did some research on neighboring facilities and has been discovered to be quite tricky because no facility offers the same options.
It's hard, yeah.
Yeah.
And how they price things was different to how we price things. Our current price list really broke every little fork and knife down. Where we're trying to make it a lot more simplified, a lot more streamlined. And it's been approximately 10 years since we've updated our pricing, so wages, heating. Everything's gone up except our prices. Of course, we don't want to make it inaccessible to residents, so we're not trying to jump to the top of the pool by any means. You can see the spreadsheet. Where it shows all the differences.
Mhm.
It looks like when you look at the stag does and wedding packages, it looks like a big jump, but with our current price list, some things had tax included, some things didn't. So when you look at $800 for the arena, that has to be add taxes to that. Whereas the recommended $1,000 is including taxes, so it's actually only an increase of $96. It's a bit more of an increase on the $400 one for just the hall rental of $248, but it keeps things in perspective. Municipalities.
Well, I don't
The
think
rest
we're out
is-
of line at all with the pricing.
No,
It
I
looks-
don't
it
think
looks
so. I mean, if you look at our prices compared to Edenville, very big, but then they're bigger facilities, more, you know, so we can't even use them for comparison.
I have them on here, but again, we're recommending a lower price.
Yeah. No, I think that's, we're gonna continue with the incentives of a 25% discount for nonprofit. And a 25% discount if it's the stag and go and the wedding.
Yeah, so you get 25% off the wedding package.
Yeah,
And then heroes again by donations, we're not changing any of the incentives that way.
no,
I do have a comment in here about keys and now we have a good facility attendant to keep accountability.
yeah,
So that will be, anybody that does get a key, so wedding packages and stag and does would come to the office on a Friday, pick up the key. And return it after, there's going to be a $50 deposit on that to ensure that we're getting the key back and again, accountability.
No, it's
because
good.
we had a problem with keys, there was a bunch of people had keys. And there was some issues, so. It's good,
It's better to have
Yes.
it more managed.
yes,
I agree.
it needs to be controlled,
Mhm.
you know, you just can't hand out keys.
No, it ends up costing the township money. And the additional accountability. No, it's good.
Okay. So, any other questions, comments? No. No, okay, I'll call for the vote on that, all in favor? Opposed, that the motion is carried. We move to,
I don't have a motion for this one, because we're asking for direction from council.
okay,
Right.
In the past, BLR and Renfrew County District School Board had a reciprocal agreement. So they could use the arena for skating at no cost,
Yeah.
and we were running under the basketball programs before my time.
Yep.
Basketball program in the gymnasium. So that program's not running anymore. The reciprocal agreement is no longer in effect. So we would like to know from council regarding the public school using the ice surface, because we have Kevin there. And there's time, there's heat, there's
Yeah,
ice surface.
trying to
Are we
recover
supposed
this
to be
cost,
charging
yeah.
them? Are we waiving the fees for them? Are we doing it at a discounted rate? Before this all gets rolling with ice coming?
Yeah.
We just want direction.
So what happened with the school board? There's not, I remember we talked,
with the pickleball,
yeah.
Recreation decided not to pursue that, and it was very difficult dealing with the school.
it was very
Trying.
difficult, yes.
Yeah.
At the time, then it just wasn't working.
Is it gonna, does the school board have kind of like slush money for that kind of thing, or is it gonna impact the kids not being able to go skating with the price on?
I don't know.
Yeah. That's what I would.
I think the school.
Yeah, I wouldn't wanna see where if they can't afford it,
No,
they can't
That's
go.
right. So I believe the school board funds curriculum-based activities, skating is not in the curriculum for gym. So I think the school would have to fundraise for that. I can't answer that question. though.
And it costs us
How much-
an hour, right? Or does it cost us 2 hours for when the kids come to skate, how often?
They're there most of the day.
Most of the day?
9:30 till 3 P.M.
Okay, so it's a whole day.
Yeah, Kevin does the ice surface twice, once midday and
Yeah.
Wednesday.
And how often do they do this?
They did it for approximately 7 days last year, totaling 38 and a half hours. So that would work with 42 hours of staffing on our end.
And And if it was at, you said $50 an hour,
Yeah, so our suggestion.
so 50 times 40 is
1950.
Yeah, that's a lot, my opinion.
Now, right now, do we need Kevin there the whole time? Can you just open it up? There's teacher supervising, there's ice service and lock up. There's options. I don't know what that's to say.
Well, do they? What does he do when he's there? They just be there?
There's some times that he sharpens skates and stuff like that, if he has cleaning to do, he'll do some cleaning.
Yeah,
Sometimes I think he actually just goes home,
yeah.
and there's quiet periods between classes, he's. Yeah. So,
I don't know, for me, I don't think you wanna take that opportunity, to find children.
No, I'd hate to see them, if we put a price on, then the school doesn't let the kids go skating.
No, exactly.
Maybe just have him. If he doesn't need to be there, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't, it's not like he lives far away.
and it's not like it's an unsupervised activity.
Yeah.
no, they'll not like the kids are gonna be there by
Parent
themselves.
volunteers going about
And the
it.
school has insurance.
Yes.
It's, yeah.
So maybe we could get down to like 4 hours a day or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah, 2 cleanings, you'd be an hour there and probably an hour cleaning. Probably 2 hours a day, you could come back.
Does he have to flood in between?
He goes halfway between,
Would he have
usually
to go?
they send the older kids first for some reason,
Yeah.
and they chew the ice up pretty
It
good.
doesn't make it safer. It's a
It
safety,
does.
it's a
Yeah.
safety thing. So I'd prefer that they do kind of apply it's a safety.
You know,
thing.
halfway through needs to be done for sure.
You said they did that about 7 days? 7 different times?
Total 6,700.
Yeah, I think they'd be happy with 5 days.
It depends on the
Into
ice.
that, and then-
Yeah, it depends on the weather.
Yeah.
But even at 7, if we could get it down to, like you were talking about, Jordan, then you're probably in around $1,000 or a little under $1,000.
Just chalk it up to
Yeah,
community.
I mean,
program.
it's,
It's for the kids.
there are kids.
Yeah, they are.
Yes.
I have a motion drafted if you want to just refresh that. page.
Okay, the resolution reads, the meeting council of the township of Brunel, Lindau, and Raglan hereby allow Palmer Rapids Public School free use of the ice surface for students. Maybe we should just put for skating. Because if they want to go into other activities, then we can, it's not included. They have to come back to us. And further, the rink attendant will open and close and is not required to stay for the duration as teachers are present for supervision. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mover second.
Oh, okay, moved by Councilor Keller, seconded by Councilor Capel. Any other questions? You added for
First aid.
first aid,
Yeah.
okay. We'll call for the vote, all those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed, none, the motion is carried. You can move farther down the line here, Kenny, if you want to see better.
You can sit here if you want.
Okay, we'll go to correspondence, county council summary. We have a resolution that we, the council of the corporation of the township of Brunel and Dock and Raglan, hereby accept the correspondence as circulated. Can I get a mover for that, please? Councilor Banks, seconded by Councilor Plot. Okay, so we'll look at, is there anything in there that council looking at supporting?
10-2 and 10-3 or something to look at.
I would say 10-2 down.
10-3 also is a bit concerning with the
Blood donation.
with blood, because when you put money on that, it does put people at risk.
Yeah.
In a position where they'll go and do things just to get the money, right?
Yeah. Okay.
It'd be nice if flood services didn't pursue that. I mean, it's risky, right?
Yeah,
Cause then you have folks that are. Maybe have, substance abuse issues or whatever, selling their blood for money to buy the habit.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd like to see it stay voluntary, if
Okay,
it could.
okay, so with the exception of 10 and 10-3,
Are the mover and seconder are in favor of the amendment?
who's the lead mover and seconder? Happy, are you okay with the friendly amendment to include 10 and 2? Okay. So, we'll call for the vote, all those in favor? All those none, the motion is carried. Okay, new business, we have shorter line road allowance applications that council for the corporation for township of Blue Mountain, Dock and Raglan give tentative approval of the application for shoreline road allowance purchase to Yvonne and Candace Cebulski. We get a mover for that, please. Councillor Keller, second by Councillor Claude. Any comments or questions? Right, so, call for the vote, all those in favor? Yes. Opposed, none, the motion is carried. Okay, we have another one, that council for the corporation for township of Blue Mountain, Dock and Raglan give tentative approval to the application for shoreline road allowance purchase to Yvonne and James Cebulski. Can I get a mover for that, please? By Councillor Banks, Councillor Caulfield. Any comments or questions? Call for the vote, all those in favor? Opposed, none, the motion is carried. Shoreline road allowance closure. That the council for the corporation of the township of Blue Mountain, Dock and Raglan give tentative approval to the application for shoreline road allowance purchase to Joe and Wendy Holly. Can I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Claude, seconded by Councillor Caulfield. Any comments or questions? Okay, call for the vote, all those in favor?
Yes.
Motion is carried. That council for the corporation of the township of Blue Mountain, Dock and Raglan give tentative approval of the application for shoreline road allowance purchase to Jana Bradley. Could I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Keller, seconded by Councillor Banks. Any comments or questions? Okay, we will call for the vote, all in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? None, the motion is carried. This special events we've dealt with. Budget discussion. Did you bring your wish lists?
I brought last year.
You're still wishing for it?
Well, some of it's not done.
Yeah. So what would you like to discuss?
I didn't even really look at it.
Nobody else?
This is to give council their opportunity to bring forth their wish list, what they would like to see staff include in the 2025 budget.
For me, I think for budget, I'd rather see the first budget and see where we're at, and then go from there.
Is there any projects or anything that? Thanks for.
I have something on my wish list. This building inside, I don't think anything has been done with it since it was built. And I would love to see this carpet go. This is the most unhealthy stuff. You can smell it.
No, for sure.
And I would like to see us give it a nice coat of paint and get rid of this, whatever you might call it.
I like the color, to be honest.
Yeah,
It doesn't bother me.
but I definitely get different flooring and get rid of this carpet.
Would council, if we're talking about council chambers, be open to considering putting some kind of sound buffering?
I have asked for that many times, yes,
We'll get some pricing.
yes. It's not that expensive for the sound buffer. It's not. And then go with solid floor, not carpet.
Yeah.
Because this is,
So this is the list that has everybody's,
Mhm.
when was that, 2 years ago?
When we started council,
Okay,
when we began council.
yeah. Valerie had asked us to come forward with what we got to get down to budget, so everybody's things on there. And I went through it and there's a lot of, that's a good thing. So, I don't know if you wanna hear it.
sure,
So, I don't know which order, who's with who, I don't know what mine were. But the first one was updated asset management plan that is in progress already.
yes.
Check mark. Create a bylaw policy schedule to continue update on our existing policies, et cetera. I had a question mark there. Update our HR policy, which is also in progress.
We did, we did it.
Better variance report quarterly for council such as was provided to us in our council training binder. Check mark. Review council remuneration as part of next year's budget schedule, check mark. I'd like to see us work on a 4-year plan, question mark. We were. Question mark. Put together a recreation committee with reps from all centers, get folks engaged in the community.
We have,
Yeah.
Basically. Look at pension options for employees and review other benefit employees currently have.
we did that, Mark, we did the pay equity plan and all that.
Yeah, look at the leadership structure at BLR so we can try to make BLR a great place to work.
It is.
Review the cost of doing business for BLR, see if we can find any unnecessary expense.
I think that's all.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Well, this is just- Somebody wrote this down. I'm telling you. So, where was I now here? Oh, keeping our roads up to par. Check mark. Keeping our fleet of vehicles up to date, check mark.
That's good.
Getting more senior programs into the area,
We've done,
they're ongoing.
yeah, we've taken advantage of what we can get, put it that way.
Set up some kind of tourism attractions, see if some of these people who belong to studio tour would be willing to be more open in the summer. I don't know whose that was, but
Yeah, I don't know.
there's an X beside that. Somehow attract more younger families to the area. Question mark. Get together with the other township and start to lobby the government for a lot harder for high-speed internet and cell phone service, check mark. Better signage at the intersection in Quadville showing where the 515 goes. This has brought to the, it has been brought to the county's attention before and nothing has been done. Too many large trucks going up Addington Road and can't get turned around. There's an X beside that
We
one.
still have a problem.
There's still, yes, there's
Big
still
problem
trucks
with
going up
that.
the road. Oh, yeah.
Seriously,
Oh, yeah.
a big problem with
Yeah.
that. And I think,
Because it's on the GPS, normally.
well,
I
I don't know.
don't know.
Well, you ever see the sign, it's not very big.
I know a few years back, I think Sheldon remembers that Michelle did contact county about that, but it just never went anywhere.
We have contacted county as well,
And it never went.
and they won't do any more signage.
The only thing that's got a little bit better now is because there's a faint bar of internet, like cell phone service, so now their GPS might work. But I mean, I've had stuff even trying to be delivered to my place and they just go and they just keep going.
Seriously, there is a.
Like I didn't get a guy turned around till he was past Green Lake.
Straight up.
Oh, God.
He didn't know where he was. He just told me he was in the bush. He didn't even know where he was. I said, if you drive farther, there's cell signal, you'll see where you are.
Sometimes if you, push charges route, they think you,
Yeah.
just had a truck that thing, took its speed train up there in between the farms there, you got up there, you got stuck, and you was
Oh, yeah.
taking the shortest route.
Yeah.
They just said an awful thing.
Their signs are probably on them, right? But it's still on
Yeah,
where the township owns their by the chip shop.
yeah.
I mean, if they're not gonna do anything, can we not sign it better
We,
on our section there?
the past few winters, we've been putting up road close sign at the end.
Yeah, at the very end, it says road closed, yeah.
Try and stop them, but we found that.
I couldn't go around them. No one even looks at that sign.
No.
They just keep on rolling.
I guess they.
But anyways, that's something we can discuss better. We're almost done. That was one of mine, by the way. And of course, electronic signs, as discussed before, I think we discussed that when we had that modern.
Yeah.
They were expensive, they were like $30,000.
Yeah, they're very expensive.
That's,
And the hill on Cameron Road, it
Yep.
needs to be tapered down. Plumbriums, we had discussed on a few months back, I think we actually had them do a,
They did a presentation.
yeah. Continued support for our seniors. I think it's some form of transportation. I think it would be nice if we could possibly get the Lions Club to reconsider coming back to Palmer and to possibly be part of the rec committee. Roads, especially.
Speak to that one, because the Lions Club has offered their support to help our recreation committee with hosting events. To as volunteers for the event.
And it's nice, so check mark really in advance. Okay, roads, especially roads like Letterkenny, that costed $2 million, keeping up the crack sealing, maintenance before it gets too bad.
we do that now, though.
Yeah. Alternate voting methods for the 2026 elections, and who's up there, and dissolving the ward system. I think we did do something with the ward system, did we not have a?
We did a survey, but it was kind of equal, but there was how many respondents, less than 100?
They didn't get a lot of response.
No,
But I think the better half was for yay keeping the ward system.
well, I think it was pretty equal, it was very close.
Close to the ward 50 or something. Plus, I don't know if there's something, isn't there something with elections, like if you change it, something like that, it has to be done like a year ahead.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
So that's the old ones, I know.
Thank you for bringing that.
I'm still interested in having a look at that hill at Canada, because that is dangerous. And it'd be nice if the road, if we could, at some point, put the road on the concession where the stone comes out of the hill there. Or that it's kind of swamp on the one side, but the rock comes right into the road, because you can't ditch that to get, that's why the water always runs across and makes that big rut there in the road. Because you can't ditch it. You know where to go, the stone comes right out into the road, and that's apparently on, and I don't know, but I was told that that's on, probably, that's rock, but, yeah, that'd be on. I'm trying to think, if it's on Sanders property or if it's on Robin's.
Oh.
Stone comes out. That's on their land. No, Sanders.
Yeah.
Guiding Road has that same situation.
We'll explore the possibility.
If that hill is just sand, which it's quite possible.
Very difficult, the rock,
Well, no, but over farther.
further on,
Right, you know, the hill where, if we could just push that hill into the gully and make it level with the field, that'd be beautiful. That's just sand. We
I don't
just-
think it is though, I think Alvin talked about that before.
I don't know, because at the side of the road, it's just, there's nothing over there, where it was on Ray's property. I'm just wondering if that hill is sand or not, because the forestry road's all sand in there, where they shove that around the forestry road. Only way to know is you have to dig, you'd have to drive your cane down and dig a little, root a little on the ground side. Root a little on that side and see if there's stone there, sometimes, I mean. If not, all the fill is there to fill that hole, just to push it, all you need is just shove it with blow in.
I know the kids on the bus really like that hill at Game Roof.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but, Harvey's.
Kind of like the one going to Rockingham when I went to school, if the bus driver went fast enough, the back seats would flip up and over and back down.
It's like the little pitch that used to be on the road into Patty Manning's. Used to get air there all the time, until the township took away that little hill.
Okay, so we're getting off subject here.
Whatever become of the, and maybe I missed that, whatever become of the conversation you're gonna have about the, out of John's, the graveyard?
We never went any farther with it. I had spoke to, John and Lori. And then nobody really said too much and I never went back.
Okay.
And I actually mentioned it to her when I seen her a while back though.
And yeah, So do we wanna pursue that?
I guess the only way you wanna pursue it is if you're planning on putting up one of those. Yeah,
Variance?
I think at the time we were in the middle of budgeting and it was one of the things that got cut in the budget.
oh, no, that's right.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, you would have to put some work in there too, because there's a lot of stone there.
Yep.
And,
Well, it would cost money.
yeah, because, and you'd have to like fence it all, you'd have to pay for survey.
You'd have
You have to
to
have a park
be away
area.
on that too.
Eh?
You'd have to be away on to license them.
We already do, because
We have that cemetery.
we have a couple of things.
I really though honestly think it's something we need.
I think it's a good thing because there's so many people passing and they're cremated and they don't belong
And there's a closet.
anywhere and they're in the closet.
They are,
Yeah.
I just found out today about, I shouldn't get mad at it, but, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
A friend of mine always jokes about his dad still being in the closet. So you just.
Not everybody belongs to a church,
No,
you
so they
know,
don't have
and they got
access to
nowhere to go with
cemeteries.
exams.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That's why I think one of those are. That's why, I mean, I brought it up 2 years ago.
And
It's just a
the
fine spot.
thing is, we have to put the money up front, but we will get the money back.
Yeah,
Because the columbarium, you put the money up front.
that's right.
And when you sell the drawers, you recoup
Yeah,
the money.
That's your plot, basically.
Yeah. Yeah,
So yeah, the
and there's enough.
return on the investment is over time, so.
And there's enough room in one drawer for 2 people,
Mhm.
so a couple could buy a drawer. Get in, you know,
I still
okay,
think
I
it's
will
something to
pursue
keep on
it
the,
then further.
yeah, something to keep on the radar.
The one up across from
John,
at Wolf, I still call it Wolf, but.
John and Laura, yes.
yeah.
Yeah. We looked kind of at, I went and looked at the one on Chickens Road. But at that time. Well, since then, new owners have. come back, and they cleaned it up and. That's it.
Okay, I'll get in touch with them and bring it back to the next meeting.
Yeah, just something to stay on the radar.
Okay,
So would council be interested in pursuing possible alternative options for voting for next year's election?
you're talking about,
So electronic voting,
Yeah, or telephone.
Is it like 4 years since you already?
yeah, next year's election. This year, next year silly season. I really don't think, if we have the mail-in vote, I think that's.
I was gonna say, what would it cost to go electronic, that would, who foots the bill for that, if you go electronic? That would be expensive.
We did it in Redford one year, I remember it. Well, I remember a crisis, everybody was gone and I was there and something happened and.
Well, yeah, there's risks with that, right? If there's an issue, then you have a whole bunch of. It kind of does work the way it works with the mail-in and.
Yeah.
People coming, I think we're still getting a pretty good turnout from our constituents, right, voters.
With the mail-in, it's increased because people can, you just have walk-in voting, no, because the people that, they're not gonna drive up here to vote.
No, but I mean, yeah, for the folks that are just, part-time residents, that's great, that kind of covers it, right? Yeah. And most of the local people, I still think we get a pretty good turnout from the local folks to vote. I would say so.
Do you remember what our percentage was last time?
Honestly, don't.
I think we
There was
talked-
more,
I think we
right?
talked about it,
There
it
was
was pretty good, yeah.
Well, we had quite a selection running last time too, which made it. Cause we hit every newspaper every week for a couple of years, so we were pretty well in the news.
We have, they've established an elections group with the clerks in the town, the counties.
Yes.
we're going to be starting things up in January and, probably one of the topics, so.
Will be electronic
Interested.
voting.
Alternative
Or
options.
Well, see what they have to say. I mean, you can bring the information to us. We can talk about it at the time. It didn't take that long to count the votes the last time, did it? I don't remember.
I don't remember it being that long,
No,
honestly, it wasn't very late.
no. But yeah, I mean, I know there's a cost, but there's a lot. Can't make decisions and we don't have information.
Mhm.
Right.
Another thing that has, came up is. Talking with some major municipalities about shared services.
Yes,
So would council be interested in me pursuing. Bylaw enforcement
yes,
and animal control
yes,
as a shared service with municipalities.
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
because. Because we don't have a bylaw, that's how we ended up with that. Bunch really removed all those dogs.
Yeah.
Cause I remember they called here to ask if we had an animal control bylaw.
Mhm.
And then I had a call from Kingston area saying that they were looking for a place to go. Where there was no control, so they could just move in. So we don't want that to happen again.
Well, it's nice if we can find someone to have a shared service with.
Yeah, we need bylaw enforcement. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not that we have a lot of. Need for it, but if you do, you need to deal with it before it becomes a big issue. And I know MLES can do bylaw enforcement. They also have access to bylaws. You know, for whatever and short-term wordings that, you know, they can help us with to, which wouldn't be so costly because it's
Well,
not.
it's per event, right?
Pardon?
They charge per event.
They
right?
charge
Yeah.
per event. We don't want somebody on a retainer if we're only gonna use them 6 times a year.
So
Doesn't
maybe,
make
maybe
sense.
it's better to
No.
go the other route than.
But
per
not,
event.
they won't do animal control though.
No. So we need the animal control piece. of it.
And animal control is another whole hill of beans because if you're gonna do animal control, you have to have an approved shelter for them to go to. I don't know if OSPCA in Petawawa was doing agreements with municipalities to take.
I don't believe so.
I don't think so either. For some reason, I read something about that. So you have to have somewhere for the animal to be taken.
Yeah, so
I mean,
the other
back in the
townships-
day-
The other townships doing.
I don't know, that's a good thing to find out that year. Because the one in Vulture Valley is closed now. And I mean, years ago, you could have someone that, you know, could build a kennel with a run outside and all of that, and as long as it was, you know, we can't do that anymore. Yeah.
I guess we should look at what other people are doing and if other municipalities are interested in sharing that service with us, right? Where we could,
Well, I don't think we'll get anybody to share bylaw. Because. In MV, they have a person on staff that does it as part of their job. I don't think they're gonna sign agreements with other municipalities. And I think it's the same in Katy Charter. Yeah, so. I kind of out in the cold, I believe in them. And I know, NAW has, MLES, and I believe Vulture Valley does too.
yeah, but we can use them for bylaw, right?
Yes, we can,
And again, that's a per event,
that's a per
so
event.
that's it's one of the cheapest models.
Yeah.
If you don't have a lot of issues, your per event is pretty low.
That's right. Yeah, talk to them. It's fine. Okay,
I think that's all I have.
that's all you have? Okay. So what's on everybody's wish list? I told you mine.
I told them mine.
Yeah, and for me, it's still the Cameron Lake Road, we can look at that.
What's on our agenda this year for construction?
I'm finishing up Trent Lake Road and Bruce still tying two months together.
Yeah,
And then we wanna probably start some work on River Road to get it ready for the fall year. In between other ditching and culvert replacements.
just maintenance.
Just the normal stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, because once we get those three finished, we're done with those and then,
Pretty well, we're in good shape now,
yeah.
we're caught up for this part.
But I mean, it wouldn't hurt to look at Cameron Lake, that's been something that we could get
Yeah,
a lot of.
Explore more.
Just some exploratory stuff.
Yeah. Sounds good.
And then the fleet's looking pretty good now, right, your fleet?
Yeah, we have one pickup, there's two pickups that should well, one for sure.
How are the plow trucks?
Plow trucks are in good shape, we have the one coming in spring.
So we're in good shape there, so other than pickup trucks, that's not too bad.
Well, we're in great shape compared to where we were 2 years
So
ago.
this I know that. It's our
I know
house
it's
in
a
good shape.
fast pace upgrade, but it was kind of even,
Yes, it was,
it's,
our equipment was in,
yeah,
it was at the end of its lifetime.
yeah, we got.
It's nice to have good tools to work with, so you can just don't work.
Something that's more reliable, stay original. Fire wise, we do have a tanker that's going to be causing us some problems, it is causing us some problems. So we're gonna explore some options on that as well, just a heads up.
And the same with the pickups, like, just keep watching, I mean, we've been lucky.
Yeah.
To pick up, something that's been,
What's nice is when you are looking like that. It's not like you get caught, right? So you're planning, so it's not urgent where you have to, oh, well, now we're in trouble, we're gonna overspend to fix the problem, right? But you're kind of always planning and watching.
Yeah.
You get the better deals and
Yeah.
you don't put yourself. at
I think
risk.
the last 2 years of them is like, okay, this is where things are, this is where we can, should be, and it's like. How do we get there financially and responsibly, and it's been tough. Yeah, we got a lot of new equipment for vehicles, it's. New to us, it's more reliable, it's getting us by, so. Another point on fire, we're gonna be looking at our breathing apparatus too, and upgraded. So that's a big ticket item as well. So we're gonna work some of that, doing some exploring of that, we go to.
would that have fit under that grant you got?
Partially, yes. If we're gonna go with a complete new SCBA setup, you're ballpark of $120,000. So that grant is gonna cover it all. Yes, it would offset it nicely,
Yeah,
and maybe this year that would be an option for us.
yeah,
But there are some used options out there for upgrades as well.
Yeah.
So we're exploring that too.
and what about our lease?
How does that stuff for end of life, when you buy that?
End of life, depends when they do their upgrades on their, requirements through NFPA.
When it comes
And there's
to,
just one done.
when it comes to health and safety stuff like that, it's kind of like, I kind of like the idea of going new. That's my preference, because it's.
You're
Not-
you're the newest risk requirements, the newest safety built into it, it's, yeah, new would be nice, but it's a big,
I know it's a big check.
it's a big jump for us, especially as much as they really get used.
We don't do entry either.
And that's-
Yeah, okay.
Waste wise, we are looking pretty darn good for the most part. Quite a bit of room in the expansion yet, the new compactor has been phenomenal at. Reducing our.
And slow down growth.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah, no, for sure. So in that aspect, we'll be pretty good. We will be looking at probably in the next year or two to start digging some more of the expansion out, just to prepare. But the plan is right now to fill the front part of the expansion up and then we're getting back.
How many years do you think, Jordan?
I'm looking for 5, try and fill the front end and then see what the back is.
Okay, so you're probably still good for 15?
I'm hoping 15, 20.
Yeah, okay, well, that's good.
15.
It's good that this music festival is taking all the waste out of there. Cause can you imagine the waste that there would come from there?
Well, it's nice that they plan for all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's good.
And just keep in mind that during this year, well, December 31st of 2025, we transitioned into the new Blue Box program. There's gonna be a lot of information coming at you this year and a lot of tough decisions to make.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yes, for sure. Anything else?
And would you want in the first meeting?
After we have the final, I'm probably there.
Yeah, I think we need February or
You'll have a draft then? When is Will coming in? Let's see. I'm hoping first week of February. So middle of February for budget start. Okay, so we're done with that? We're on to payment transfer. This was brought back from our last council meeting. A resolution we supported, be it resolved that the council of the corporation of the township of Brunel and Dalkin Raglan support the resolution passed by the township of Russell requesting the redistribution of the provincial land transfer tax and GST municipality for sustainable infrastructure funding. And further, that this resolution be forwarded to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
I did this a long time ago.
The Honorable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, the Ontario Minister of Finance, the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, local members of Parliament, MPs, and members of provincial Parliament, and all 444 municipalities in Ontario. Can I get a mover for that, please? Councillor Banks, seconded by Councillor Keller. Any comments or discussion? It would be nice if they would share that
Yeah,
with
that'd
us.
be great.
I'll call for the vote on these in favor. Opposed, none, the motion is carried. And we have another one from the last meeting. We had resolved that the council of the corporation of the township of Brunel, Lindau, and Rydal support the county of Vancouver's resolution regarding child welfare funding as attached. And whereas the council of the township of Brunel, Lindau, and Rydal also formally requested the province of Ontario consult with and collaborate with child welfare agencies to develop an updated and equitable child welfare funding formula, and that the newly developed funding formula be structured to ensure an equitable and proportionate distribution that meets the diverse, unique, individual, and complex needs of the communities and populations served. And it'd be forwarded to the Honorable Doug Ford, Renfrew Nipissing Pembroke MPP John Yakubowski, Association of Municipalities, Rural Ontario Municipal Association, the Eastern Ontario Leaders Caucus, the Eastern Ontario Mayor's Caucus, and Ontario Association of Children's Aid Societies, and all municipalities in Ontario. Can I get a mover for that, please? For the Councillor Paul, second by any comments or discussion?
Nope.
I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? None. The motion is carried. Okay, so this, the county's asking us for some comment. Did we just receive this?
For which?
This severance?
The severance? Yeah, we received it and I've received comments from the building and fire and
So, okay.
just asking for.
Okay, and so this is for a land severance, that the council of corporation of the township of Brunel, Lindau, and Raglan approve the land severance application number B 152-24-1 and B 153-24-2 from Omer and Gabriela Masick for the creation of 2 new lots and 1 right-of-way easement, providing that all conditions as listed in the county Brantford planning report concerning this division of land are met. Could I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Caulfield, seconded by Councillor Banks. Any comments, discussions? No.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's down on Anderson.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'll call for the vote then. All those in favor? Yeah. Opposed? None, the motion is carried. And this was from the last meeting that the Council of Corporation, the Township of Brunel, Lindau, and Raglan authorized a donation of $94 to the National Wall of Remembrance Association for a business card size advertisement. Can I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Caulfield, seconded by Councillor Banks.
This was not from the last meeting.
Oh, this one new?
This is new.
This is a new one?
We do this every year.
Yeah.
You mean, yeah.
Number of years.
Yeah. Any comments or questions?
No, we'll do it every year.
Yeah. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yes.
Against, none, the motion is carried. Okay, we have our, financial reports. That we, the Council of Corporation of the Township of Brunel, Lindau, and Raglan, accept the year-to-date budget variance and monthly expenses summary as presented. Could you get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Caulfield, seconded by Councillor Keller. Everybody has looked at the first meeting of the year. Okay, I'll call for any questions. I'll call for the vote then. All those in favor?
Yeah.
Opposed, none, the motion is carried. Okay, so. We also have a bylaw here. For borrowing bylaw. We pass the beginning of every year. That we, the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Brunel, Lindau, and Raglan hereby adopts bylaw 2020-501, being a bylaw to confirm the borrowing of $400,000 to meet until the taxes are collected and current expenditures of the corporation for the year having been introduced and read first, second, and third time and finally passed. Could I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Banks. Any comments, questions?
No.
Do we borrow much on the bylaw? No. We're good. It
It's
carries.
just precautionary.
Yeah, if you need it, you can draw. It's like a line of credit. I figured we should be in good enough shape that we wouldn't be drawing on it. Okay, so I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed, none, the motion is carried. Okay, and it's that time of the year again. We need to pass another bylaw. And we, the Council for the Corporation of the Township of Brunel, Lindau, and Raglan, hereby adopts bylaw number 2025-02, being a bylaw to provide for interim tax levies for the year 2025 for the Township of Brunel, Stoner, Lindau, and Raglan, having been read a first, second, and third time and finally passed. Can I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Kilmer, seconded by Councillor Pod. Any comments or questions? So that's to be able to levy interim taxes, which will be 50% of last year's taxes. Okay, we have another bylaw. That we, the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Brunel, Lindau, and Raglan, hereby adopts bylaw 2025-03, being a bylaw to accept a transfer of property from Loretta Teresa McDonald for the purpose of assuming it as part of the municipal road system, with the property being lot 30, concession 13 being part 1 of line 49R, 2813 having been read first, second, and third time and finally passed. Gonna get a mover for that. Moved by Councillor Banks, seconded by Councillor Keller. This is the one at,
This is on the end of the Sheridan Road and it's
Yeah.
a condition for consent.
Yes.
This had to be done.
it's only like a couple hundred feet. Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. Right? Did I not? Okay. I was just told we didn't vote on the interim tax bylaw. Can I call for the vote on that motion? Everybody in favor? And opposed, none, the motion is carried. Okay. So did I get a mover in a second on this one? Yes, I did. Okay. Any other questions on this one? I'll call for the vote, all those in favor? Yeah. Opposed, none, the motion is carried. That we, the council of the corporation of the townships of Brunel and Dog and Raglan hereby adopts bylaw number 2025-04, being a bylaw to adopt an accessibility standards policy, having been read a first, second time, and finally passed. Any comments or questions on that? Oh, I need one more. Well, I'm going to crash. I'll need a mover for this, please. Councilor Keller, seconded by Councilor Gold. Okay, any questions on this? No? No. Okay, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? None. The motion is carried. Okay, we have another bylaw. That we, the council of the corporation of the township of Brunel, Lindog and Raglan hereby adopts bylaw number 2025-05, being a bylaw to amend Schedule A of bylaw 2024-23 to appoint municipal officers and set salaries, mileage and benefits for council and municipal employees, having been read for a second and third time and finally passed. Could I get a mover for that, please? Councilor Banks, seconded by Councilor Capel. Any comments, questions? That's just the wages off of the.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? None. The motion is carried. Okay, we have a motion that we, the council of the corporation, the township of Brunel, Lindog and Raglan, go into closed session pursuant to the Municipal Act 2001, section 239, for the purposes of subsection B regarding personal matter about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees. Can I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councilor Capel, seconded by Councilor Banks. Any comments and questions? All those in favor?
Mover and seconder in favor of,
Yes. Yes. So friendly amendment. You're okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. We are back in the open session. And we have a motion that council comes out of the closed session at 9:36 p.m. Can I get a mover for that, please? By Councilor Banks and by Councilor Capel. Okay, in closed session, we dealt with two issues about identifiable individuals and we have a resolution. The council for the corporation of the township of Brunel, Lindog and Raglan grants the public works supervisor or designate permission for home to work travel in a municipal pickup for the purpose of winter road patrolling. Can I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councilor Banks, seconded by seconded by Councilor Miller. Okay, discussion on this. Any discussion?
Well, we should really look at the taxable benefit portion of that.
Okay. an amendment to this
I
resolution?
would propose an amendment.
Okay, so an amendment,
Review taxable benefit
okay,
of personal knowledge.
okay. Up to and from to work. From
Correct.
to and from to work.
And I personally feel he should be driving to work. So,
We'll get that. Are you guys okay with the friendly amendment to that effect?
Asking for the taxable benefit review. Would you like that before you approve that resolution?
We should, before we approve it, we should review that.
So you're proposing a new resolution, basically.
Yeah,
So are you defeating this resolution and starting a new
I was
resolution?
gonna say we should probably vote on this one and then.
Okay, and then go back and do a new resolution. Okay. Okay, so I will call for the vote on this resolution. All those in favor? None. The motion is defeated. So. Someone wants to put a new resolution on the floor?
I believe. Karen.
Yeah. New resolution to review the taxable benefit for the personal knowledge between home and office
Yes.
transportation.
Review the taxable benefit for the employee. For home to work mileage.
Yeah, of the company vehicle. For municipal people.
And that be done before we approve it?
Yeah, we should review that before we do it.
Okay,
So
so
bring
then
it
it
back.
will be deferred to the next.
Yeah, to the next meeting.
Okay, and be deferred to the next meeting.
In the second half. Require staff to review the taxable benefit for the employee for home to work mileage for use of personal municipal vehicle.
Yeah.
Time.
Okay. Of the council of the corporation, the township of Brunel, Lindau, and Raglan direct staff to review taxable benefit of an employee or home to work mileage for use of a municipal vehicle. Yeah, it has to somehow be in there that it be deferred to,
Yeah, but when you vote on it, it'll be deferred.
okay,
You're gonna move her in a seconder, when you call the vote, you're gonna defer it and table to the next meeting.
okay, so, moved by Councilor Kwan,
Yeah.
seconded by Councilor Collar. And,
And this is gonna be tabled to the next meeting, and that's how it will show up on the agenda.
okay. So we won't vote. Okay, so it'll show up on the next agenda. Okay. Okay.
And then we'll have some guidance from the tax.
Yeah, we can't keep doing this without doing it properly. Okay,
So good.
so we will move on. The Leading Council of the Corporation, the Township of Brunel, Lindau, and Raglan hereby adopts bylaw number 2025-06, being the bylaws of the proceedings of the January 8th, 2025 regular meeting of council, having been read first, second, and third time and finally passed. Can I get a mover for that, please? Councilor Quad, seconded by Councilor Caput. And the magic resolution that this meeting adjourns at 9:42 p.m. I will hear, please.
Councillor Claude.